Welcome to the Harmony Sessions. This is your host, Megan LaRoque. Join in discussions around human design, gene keys, brand strategy, brand archetypes, basically all things connected to creating harmony in our lives and brands. On this week's episode of the Harmony Sessions, I'll be discussing Hexagram 52, also known as Gene Key 52, and the 52nd gate in human design. Gene Key 52, my evolution. I'm starting this one with a deep, pregnant pause. Because it is the path from stress to stillness through the gift of restraint. In the Gene Keys Golden Path, this is my challenge, between Gene Key 58, which was discussed in the last session, and Gene Key 52. It is the challenge for sure. There's so much beauty in this specific gene key. There's so much that was and continues to be unlocked within myself. There's so much that I intrinsically already felt that I knew, but also so much that I am learning currently about stillness and about stress. In 2017, my need to say yes and take responsibility for everybody else's needs, which is a much deeper thing to contemplate. But the need to do that led me to saying yes to so many things and never saying yes to my own need for stillness, which resulted in illness and hospitalization. So if I were thinking of a story arc or my hero's journey, I would say this is my this gene key is related to my dark night of the soul, and I say it in a beautiful way because it really has to do with asking the bigger questions, right? And understanding what we personally need. So in this case, understanding how I need to take the time to process things and take the time to be with my thoughts and ultimately it's being truly present, but in taking the time to focus on the things that I need to focus on, whether it be an inner vision of, a future place I'd like to be, or, taking the time to think about the past and how I've gotten to the place I am, and understand how those two things are connected intrinsically to the present moment and the choices I'm making. But if I don't take the time to sit with myself and with my thoughts and focus and concentrate, then I'll never really see that, right? So there's so much in the shadow of stress and the shallow breathing and even the lack of awareness of whether or not I am breathing and the pounding heartbeat and all the things that come with stress and anxiety. Also just believing it to be true, solely true when it's happening, right? I believe I can take on more and more and more and more because I can. But listen, just because we can doesn't mean we have to. And the bigger question that I would say is here always, I think for any person that finds themselves deep in stress, is what am I trying to control? Why do I feel out of control? And what am I avoiding? Which is really underneath it all, at least it is for me, right? So we've all had we've been given our own experiences in life that really do serve as a blessing and a lesson. But until we actually look them in the face and we actually move through them, they really can have an unconscious effect on, what we choose to do, how we choose to do it, who we choose to do it for, and all the things that happen, right? But until we take the time to truly be present and silent and still, can we even properly evaluate that? And I think, I've known so many friends and colleagues that have said, well, I don't have the time. Or they say things like, the thoughts won't stop when I sit with them. And that's the beauty of it, right? We actually sit with our thoughts. What are they telling us? What can be found in the present moment, right? So these are the things that I think about. And I think about the relationship between the 52nd gene key and the 58th gene key, and the fact that in the gene keys they're called programming partners, and they're exact opposites, but they're so intrinsically connected. So, I think the shadow of the 52nd gene key, stress, is so much connected to the shadow of the 58th gene key, which is dissatisfaction. Those two things, one leads to the other and vice versa. And then I think about the gift of restraint, of slowing things down, and the 52nd gene key is connected to vitality, because if we don't slow things down, then we don't take the time to rest, and then the creativity is never born, right? It's so connected. It's a beautiful infinity symbol, or yin yang. And then, of course, we have the city, which is the enlightened version, right? So when I think of bliss, that is a result of stillness for me personally, right? So it's so wonderful to think about how these two things connect. And I do think, 52, the shadow of stress and the result of the stress in my life is just, it really is a brilliant reflection of the things that the path I'm on, and the bigger lessons that I've learned and still have yet to learn in connection to that. And the journey to full self-awareness in the present moment is an interesting one. Literally, just last week I found my heart beating in my shallow breathing, and I looked at the timelines I was creating for myself, and I saw myself in it, right? But it was the moment that I recognized that I was in stress. And I was like, here it is, right? And it's such a wonderful thing to realize it sooner and sooner, because most of my time these days has been in stillness, so I can see it. It's not always going to be that. I've been blessed to have this time to really sit in stillness for the last year, but it's that journey of getting curious when things happen to us emotionally and within our physiology. It's really wonderful. So I'm very, very grateful to be on this golden path. My dog just made a little wiggle in the background, if you heard that. But if you're interested in joining me in the contemplation and the conversation, you can click on the link in the notes, which is theharmonyco.com, and harmony is spelled with an IE. There you will find the Golden Key Mastermind, which is a journey I'm taking with others through this path, as well as links to the gene keys, this is really a love letter to the gene keys, or sort of my reflection on my personal profile in the gene keys, as well as human design and any of the other wonderful modalities that I have mentioned in this podcast. But again, I thank you so very much for taking the time to listen. And thank you again.